5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
Absolutely perfect! Absolutely perfect!
Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
干嘛呢，兄弟？
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 2 between NiP and OG, and it is, of course, MLP Dota, joined by John X Fire. John, game number 1, just OG all over it in a dominant fashion. Game number 2, tell me, what do NiP need to do differently this time? Try and pull it to a game number 3.
Well, I would have liked to see NiP ban out that troll, ban out the Monkey King at the very least. These are very big comfort heroes for OG, but they're still in the pool. In fact, the Drow is also still in the pool as well, so that's still an option for OG, and they opt to go for the first pick Doom. That's a, it's a much safer pick for OG. They're not going to be relying on it as a safe lane core. Of course, it's going to be more than likely maybe a support or an offlaner for Seb. You have a lot of options in that sense, but NiP just goes back into the Drow NP, and this is not the showing that I was expecting. I did not expect them to go back to that same draft from game 1, which ended fairly quickly, and honestly a bit lopsidedly towards OG. This is interesting to say the least, but OG already won against this sort of draft, and there you go. They just swap out the Batrider for the Doom so far, but they can just make that the support, go back to that Batrider if it's not banned out in this second phase, and suddenly OG is probably going to be on pretty much a similar draft, which kind of leaves me worried. If NiP also decide to go down that route and pick up the same heroes, then I'm not sure what will change from game 1, Mike.
5 seconds remaining.
Good question. Now, to be fair, John, NiP, of course, PPD is at the helm. I'm sure he's got a plan with this draft. I'm sure he's not going to run the exact same draft. We can also comment on Seb. He played a pretty darn amazing Batrider. Like, he was all over Ace that whole time. I agree with your points. I think why go for the same opening when you just experienced absolute hell against OG with this opening?
10 seconds
but
remaining.
I have faith in NiP, and I have faith that they'll draft
5
something
seconds
very, very
remaining.
different. They'll be ready for it this time, surely. Then again, OG, it is OG. They are the previous TI winners, of course. They cannot be underestimated for this game number 2, nor can they be underestimated for game number 3, but we'll see what they're up to. OD is the ban there from OG. Once again, they don't want to have to deal with that hero.
OG's
NiP,
turn to ban.
they will respect Jerax, they will get rid of the Earth Spirit, and I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I mean, that Earth Spirit definitely caused a lot of issues in the last game. Of course, we saw Jarex just get so much done by himself. He really had a runaway start there on that Earth Spirit, and of course, it's just one of the things that he plays to a very high level, of course, so good to see that being banned out by NiP. There are still options there, of course. The Batrider is definitely going to be a big threat for that Drow, and has to be something that they do consider for the ban out here, because it's just a really simple way to jump in and, you know, take that Drow out, right? We see it every single time that Drow is first pick. Next pick is usually that Batrider in response, and it does tend to work out.
See what happens.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
One final ban here for NiP.
Radiant team pick. OG's turn to pick.
Baton
Okay.
was the 5th ban. Batrider will be the 3rd pickup here from NiP, so they'll go ahead and take the hero that was really the bane of their existence last game. I guess it makes sense. I mean, this hero has been picked over and over again to great success up against the Troll, especially just being able to grab that Troll and take him down before the Battle Trance can come out, even perhaps the Doom, but
10 seconds remaining.
overall, pretty good hero. Nothing too special, though.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
it's not a big shakeup for NiP. Of course, it is pretty nice to have this time around. The Batrider themselves, as you mentioned, is going to be useful against the Troll and the Doom. You do have options for OG to draft around that, though. One of the options is that Shadow Demon we have seen in response to the Batrider over and over again. The Oracle is also an option, and it hasn't been banned out. Again, that is a pretty strong combination for the Troll. Cancels out that lasso also. It's just something OG could jump into right now, and I wouldn't blame them. They are taking their time here, but again, that's one of the best responses, because you have great synergy with the Troll already. You might as well pick up that Oracle, make him last way longer in that fight, and, you know, it's just something we've seen over and over again in response to that Batrider.
OG. 3rd pick for them. What do they plan to go into with this draft?
Radiant team pick.
They will go ahead and pick up the Oracle. Of course, it was still available, and it makes perfect sense up against that Batrider. Just cancelling off that lasso. That is what we talked about last draft as well, once OG picked up the Batrider, but of course they didn't have a slot for another position 5. OG, however, of course they left their position 5 slot open, and it just makes perfect sense.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it definitely
remaining.
does. I mean, we were just literally talking about it before the pick, so good to see
5
that coming out from OG.
seconds remaining.
It's just a very sensible pick up against that bad in conjunction with your Troll. And you have a lot of position force you can actually make it work with if you're not running that Doom as a pause 4. Now, you know, there's so many heroes that can still combine in that would cause havoc to that Drow. I think one thing we have seen really pop out is that Nyx assassin up against Drow, of course. Just being able to sneak up and burst her down quite fast is really useful to have, so that could be an option for OG if they do opt to go for the off-lane Doom on Seb. Nyx assassin could be something that they can work in as well, and it also works wonders against Batrider, right? The Nyx just managing to get that Spike Carapace off, it's really easy to stun up that Bat. So it just kind of slots in for OG as well.
When I paid 30 seconds reserve time left for them. Too much time left to think about these final 2 picks. Well, that's the final ban, though. Of course, Shadow Shaman does come out now. We have seen Saksa over and over again with this hero doing a great job. We talked about it being picked up in the previous draft with the Drow Ranger, and it wasn't. Again, there wasn't much space left for it, but still, this time around it will be there, though. OG will go for the Omni Knight, and that is already looking like a very scary draft. I mean, you've got a Doom that's going to have 2 Devour stacks. You have an Oracle that's just going to keep everyone alive. You have the Battle Trance on Troll, and now you have an Omni Knight. It's going to have the Guardian Angel as well as the Purification and the Heavenly Grace, keeping them alive as well.
10 seconds.
It's one of those lineups where you just can't kill anybody throughout the mid-game.
yeah, we've seen this kind of strat coming out before, and it's really hard to control. You have all that great sustain coming out from pretty much every single hero has a form of sustain. You have great protection and great laning presence, so it's just super strong coming out from OG. It's a great response against this Drow lineup as well. You can just kind of stall out fights until you get your positioning right. You can just pretty much retreat when it comes out unfavorably. So OG is setting themselves up quite nicely in the draft. I mean, NiP do look good as well. They have really strong push, and I think tying up their push with that Shadow Shaman instead this time around is going to pay off dividends. But it still leaves me lacking. You know, it looks like it lacks something for control in the 5v5. Last game, it was that Tidehunter coming out. I don't really know if you want to slot it in here. You already have the Bat Rider as well, so it's going to have to be a mid hero unless they'll run that Bat mid. We have seen it, of course. It has worked out as well, but it's still not the greatest team fight in the world for NiP. And, you know, looking at OG, these guys will always just run down at you. They do definitely want to stick as at least 3 heroes to really maximize that amazing durability that they do have. So, you know, they'll be applying the pressure early on, once again, with this kind of draft, and I just don't see it in NiP's lineup to take that massive fight.
We'll see. Monkey King was the final ban there for NiP. OG, one more ban for them before they close it all off. Not much time left to do it either.
OG's turn to pick.
They will get rid of the Lena on there, I don't think, so fair enough.
Radiant team.
And you did mention the Bat Rider could be mid, but it's just not amazing. OG, they will go into that Anna Ember Spirit, or perhaps even Thompson Ember, but of course Anna is the one known to play this hero extremely well. NiP though, how do you finish this off here on their end? I mean, I've got to tell you, this OG draft looks amazing right now, John.
It really does. I mean, you don't really have a way of controlling that Ember up. You're going to have to either commit the lasso, or, you know, have your Shadow Shaman focus all your control onto that hero. But again, you have that Oracle as your counter control for OG, just to free up that Ember. You have a lot of ways of staying alive. You can really push that hero to its edge, and NiP does clean up with the TA. Now that's a great amount of burst damage coming out early on, and it should be able to at least apply pressure in the Thompson Ember Spirit coming out here. But
how do we forget about this hero, John? How do we forget?
It's a great pick. It does do a lot. It works quite well with the Drow, and it gives you a lot of damage early on. But again, when you go back to that team fight, that 5v5, it's not there for NiP, and OG tends to like forcing that massive team fight. They like committing all their heroes to one lane, finding the pickoffs they can, taking a tower, then pulling back, resetting, doing it again. Whereas NiP, their lineup looks amazing for single target pickoff and translating that to a push, but how much openings will OG give them?
10 seconds remaining.
We're going to find out very soon. Certainly last time around, they didn't give him much space at all.
5 seconds
Still,
remaining.
at the very least, they have all these heroes that can come online relatively quickly on the side of NiP this time around. OG, if they get punished for being aggressive like they did last game, it should just be NiP's game with this Drow lineup. But then again, look at that mid game for OG, and it just really looks like you can't kill anybody. A lot of pressure is going to be on Ace to really land some nice silences with that Gust. Or Saxa with the Shadow Shaman as well, just a master of controlling those cores throughout these engagements. Then again, so is Jerax. Overall, I never really asked you, John. Who do you think came out a little bit better draft?
I'm still going to stick to what I've been saying throughout the entire draft phase. I like OG's lineup a bit more. They just have much more straightforward synergy. They can kind of play around the initiation that you can expect from NiP. They have amazing sustain, and I just don't see the response from NiP's draft. Sure, NiP's draft is much more well-rounded compared to Game 1. You have a lot better synergy with that Drow onto that TA. You have the Bat Rider now as well as your form of initiation for great single target control. The Shadow Shaman's there for that amazing push and control as well. But OG's draft is just looking way too thick to really punish. I mean, just the sustainability from having all these heroes, from that Doom, from the offlane Omni Knight, from the No-Tail Oracle. I don't really see anyone dying out too fast, and if you give OG too much space here to grow, you're just never going to be able to find that single target pickoffs that you do want on NiP's side.
Well, OG again, going for that very, very early smoke, seeing if they can find somebody like last game. Of course, they did find the first blood before the minute mark even struck over. This time around, though, nobody from NiP in that Radiant jungle quite yet. For me once. Twice. Indeed, OG will not get away with the first blood this time around. They have actually put Anna on the troll, and rather they are going to let Thompson play the Ember Spirit. A bit unexpected, but I suppose it does make sense. Though, if you do have a Thompson mid-Ember against the TA, and you talked about this in the draft phase, but it does seem to favor the TA with the side blades. Of course, you can burn through the refraction very, very quickly with the Flame Guard, but generally speaking, that isn't the most reliable way to kill somebody in lane.
It really isn't. Like, you will be copping a pretty hard time in this matchup as the Ember, of course. Even if you start picking up the level, start investing that Flame Guard, you're still gonna cop a lot of physical damage coming out from this TA, so we'll see just how much OG is willing to have that happen. I think they're gonna have to at least cop it, like, for sure. Thompson's just not gonna have a good time, unless he goes for something like Sleight of Fist, really focusing on that just to get his own last hits going. I'm not really sure if you're going to be opting for that. At the very least, in this lane matchup, you won't have your Flame Guard burned out. Like, there's no magic damage coming out from Fata, so you'll always have that shield up to push out the lane and get your farm going.
Denied.
See Anna in that off lane right now. Of course, Ace will take the safe lane this time around as that Drow, and it should mean he does farm a lot more comfortably than he did last game. The PPD going to stick around him with those treants and try to dish out some harassment towards No-Tail and Anna. Looks like Jerax already going to be rotating throughout that mid, though. He was just trying to find that Centaur, it seems. Does end up getting it in the end. Thompson actually going for a very deep dive past that Tier 1 tower. I thought he may have been chasing a courier, but cop any damage, so it looks like he's just going to go for a bit of a creep pull here. It's actually part of the tip.
Should help him again secure some uncontested farm. He is looking to drag it way back, really shift the course of the mid lane, which helps him out. Again, you are denying a lot of farm from Fata in this case. He can't quite easily access that spot. It's going to take him some time to reach there, and it just gives him a bit more. This unfavorable lane matchup is kind of balancing out from this decision from Thompson.
Middle tower is under attack.
Seb, top lane, appears to be struggling a bit on the Omni at the moment. Currently with no last hits, no denies. Of course, 33 on that Batrider, and Sarks on the Shaman being very annoying with the harassment. Does finally end up getting one with the Purification, but he's going to get punished here by Sarks on that Shadow Shaman. Graves having to be committed here by Seb. Make sure he's alright. Back to that mid lane as well. Fata definitely doing a fantastic job, though. Thompson getting aggressive with that Flame Guard, burning through all that refraction, and, well, he doesn't have chains, of course, but at the very least, burning through that refraction makes the TA a lot more uncomfortable, especially if there is a gank there is to come out from OG later on.
Yeah, it's really the story of this mid lane. It's just basically trading blows. I don't really see a kill op again coming out unless Thompson missteps very hard and cops too many side blades. But neither side really has that burst potential right now unless they commit to supports, which it doesn't look like we're going to see from either team.
Not quite yet. Bot lane, No-Tail is set up to go on Ace, and they are going to get started with the Fortune Zen and Purifying Flames, and now Anna going to dive in, and they will find a very easy kill onto Ace. PPD trying to help out, but now Jerax rotates over to the bot lane, and he's got nowhere to go here. Tips come out immediately from No-Tail, but two great kills up in that safe lane, though OG will end up losing Seb in the meantime. Looks like Sarksa went ahead and picked up that kill for himself. PPD did actually claim the kill with those treants. Looks like they were still chasing Jerax on the Doom.
Yeah, he got blocked in under tower, so he copped a bit too much damage there. But that's still definitely worthwhile. You find the 2 kills you want, you, again, apply so much pressure onto Ace. Now, he's having a slightly better time than the last game, but it's definitely not the free farm we're used to seeing from him. And again, just when you get Ace slowed down from NiP's side, they kind of struggle to find the momentum, right? They really ride on Ace just getting that farm and applying pressure, but it just hasn't happened the past game.
Anna. It'll be hard to take this troll down, though. They do rotate 3 heroes over to that bot lane. In fact, Saksa will be the 3rd, though Fortune's End will be thrown out onto Peter. You're right, though. Saksa does end up showing himself on that Shaman now as well. Perhaps just threatening the side of OG to make sure Ace can farm safely. And they will go for the shackles on Notel, but there was no follow-up there from NiP. Top lane, 33, getting a jump down. Jerax is there with Seb. Purification as well coming out. Jerax doesn't look to be stopping the chase here onto 33, though it looks like the Bat Rider will be alright in the end. No shockwave available on Jerax to throw out, but he is going to keep chasing. Just to make sure. There is a bounty rune, of course, spawning as well. Let's get the Infernal Blade off one last time, but 33 will be alright and wants to start dishing out some harassment over to Jerax, who has 4 sticky napalms. Now 5 charges. He does Fairy Fire up, and he doesn't go for the bounty. Instead, he runs to the left, and now 33's in trouble. Seb is there with the Heavenly Grace to dispel all those napalm charges. But Jerax turning around, and meanwhile, Ace, he finds Notel down at the bot lane. Jerax still being chased down here, and 33 will end up finding the kill in the end.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like a stronger start for NiP compared to Game 1. They're finding a lot more kills on the map. They're giving Ace really a lot more to work with this time around, and they are slowing Ana up by a fair bit, so a much better story to tell for them in this laning phase.
Sox are getting very aggressive here, though. Jerax, he will rotate down, and Infernal Blade will connect. The Purifying Flame's actually healing up Soxa. Another one. Ana will get the job done, and now Ace ends up going down as well. PPD, he stuck around too long. That'll be 3 heroes losing their lives in that safe lane on the side of NiP. It looked great for them for a second, though. Of course, it does turn out not be as great as we thought. Meanwhile, top lane looks like Seb is being chased right now by 33, though Saksa ends up finding Ana. Meanwhile, PPD being chased by Notel and Thompson. He'll turn around onto Notel, though. Can he dish out the damage in time? He needs one more right click on that Oracle, but probably not going to get in range for it. But he does not give up on it. He will continue running towards the opposing fountain, and he will end up losing his life in the end.
Yeah, he does waste a lot of time making that happen, so it is kind of worthwhile. He was going to die anyway, so might as well make it a bit harder for Thompson, miss out on some lane farm. And again, we are at 5-6 OG, of course, having a slightly better start now. They just managed to turn these situations around, right? For one moment, it looks like NiP found all the kills they want, and then suddenly OG punishes really hard, cleans out that entire lane.
Barda's getting jumped right now. Jerax will stop the chase. PPD does TP in to ensure his TA does stay safe. You know, if there is one thing going very well for NiP right now, it is Farda's farm on that TA. It's currently uncontested. It's coming first in terms of the net worth graph.
We have seen this time and time again as well.
Ana, he gets hexed up, and he will end up losing his life. Ace and Saksa takes care of the Troll Warlord now. Thompson actually about to fall, though the Side Blades will not end up reaching him in the end. He'll go for a TP Blade back to the fountain, and will probably just remnant his way back later on.
We've seen this time and time again. When the TA does get a good start, as Fata is getting right now, they escalate very fast, so it looks like NiP will be riding on the back of this TA to give them that mid-game momentum, buy them some space, set some speed up for them, start controlling the map with her. And if that does happen, it's going to be hard for OG to really contest properly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
OG trying to dive Ace bot lane, though Hex will be there from Saksa. Now the Shackles as well. Notel trying to stop Saksa from controlling up Thompson. But Thompson going to continue the chase with the Remnant straight onto that Shaman, though they won't find it yet, and now they will. Jerax threatening PPD and Ace. Looks like Ace may end up going down here. Jerax finds the Infernal Blade. We'll end up finding another kill at this safe lane, and this has been absolute real massacre down at the safe lane. It's just all the action's just happening here.
Radiant structures
It
are fortified.
really tends to boil down like that when you have 6 heroes in the lane for the most part, so everyone is focusing on those safe lane cores. Ace and Ana actually copying a lot of ganks so far. Looks like OG is willing to swap it out now. They have Ana down mid, and you know, for NiP they are still keeping Ace down here, so he's still going to be having a bit of a rough time now that Thompson is opting to apply that pressure.
Jerax now again going to find PPD, and he's going to make the chase down with the Scorched Earth. Ace, really nothing he can do to help, but PPD will go for a quick TP and will make it out in time. So they've actually rotated Ana up to the jungle instead. He's just going to go ahead and secure some safe farm for himself. Trying to pick up that Battle Fury. In fact, Ana, he goes and picks up an urn. No phase boots. He had the urn recipe. He does drop it, and it looks like it's actually for somebody else.
Yeah, it would have been a bit strange to see that on the troll. I mean, you can certainly make things work, but I don't really think that helps with his itemization. He is, again, rushing that Battle Fury up first, and once that's up, he's going to be escalating his farm as he did in the last game.
Thompson gonna end up finding Ace in the jungle. The Remnant out, but he actually gonna try and go for this.
Seeds are for you.
He might. Let's go with the slider. Now the Flame Guard as well, though. Gust will come out from Ace, but he's still in massive trouble. Nobody really there to help him out either, and Thompson, he finds him. Meanwhile, at the bot lane as well, PPD tries to go for a boundary rune by himself, ends up losing his life, and that'll make it a 6-10. And it's almost beginning to look like a repeat of what happened in Game 1.
It certainly is kind of reminiscent of that Game 1. It's not as lopsided. I mean, you still have less than 1k of a lead on OG. You have some great farm on NiP with Fata and 33 really finding what they want so far from their lanes. So it's not as much of a wash coming out from that laning phase. That you do have a lot more going for NiP this time around. And they look set to apply pressure in this tier 1 as Saksa does have a 6.
They will go ahead, drop those Serpent Wards. Of course, with the trains as well, it's just such an easy job to take down this tower. OG look like they're going to try and pressure that mid-tier 1 while they're at it. In fact, Fortune's End will be there on 33, just holding him back. They will not be able to dish out that much damage on that tier 1. While Fada is sticking around on the TA. Stands PPD, looking like he's not planning to slow down at the top lane, though. There are rotations coming in from OG now. Seb and Notel just going to make sure he can't go too much further. G. Jerax to that mid lane though. Ana could be in trouble bot lane. There will be a TP in by PPD, and the Nature's Wrath actually doing a lot of damage to Ana. 33. Lasso is available. He waits to commit it and doesn't even need to. Saksa, he'll find the Hex and the Shackles, and that'll be enough. That'll actually be Ana's 3rd death of the game.
Yeah, he's been really farming a bit far more forward than you'd want on this troll, and he does get punished. His timing on that Battle Fury is not going to be as great as Game 1, but again, this time around he is facing a bit of a harder time. A lot more pressure from NiP to keep him in check. So, you know, he's going to have to settle with the farm he can find safely.
Thompson still dancing around NiP. Not focusing on farm at all on this Ember though. Saksa, he spots him out of now the trap, but does manage to remnant out in time. Continues to do this. Meanwhile, PPD though, getting caught out of the bot lane. Infernal Blade will stop the TP for a second, and that'll be enough. Ana, he will have some follow-up damage. Jerax does go ahead and claim the kill for himself. Meanwhile, 33 though, is on Seb once again on that Omni Knight. Purification and Heavenly Grace will be there, though Seb. He might be alright, but the lasso does come out, and now Jerax though moving in with Thompson. Sleight of Fist will be there, and 33 can't survive this much damage. He will end up losing his life. OG perhaps going to go for a T1 top tower push, although no, they're just going to dive straight into the Radiant jungle. Again, just looking for Ace on that Drow Ranger, and they do fight him with the chains. Nice Sleight of Fist chains from him, but Gust slowed them down. Notel though still going Thompson. He really wants his kill on Ace. He cannot survive another Purifying Flames. Notel though should lose his life in the process, and he does. Thompson, however, will get out rather safely, and well, NiP again losing 2 more heroes.
Yeah, and it's heroes they can't really afford to lose. Once again, they lose 33, they lose Ace. Not the best outcome so far, but it is what they are contending with.
At least if they can find this troll, just keep shutting this man down, the battle trance will come out. But he is still standing in the Firefly. Surely he does not get himself out of this one. Serpent Wards are there as well, and Saxa? No, they won't have enough damage yet. Of course, Aether Shock is available. Surely Anna does not get out of this, and he does not. Sticky Napalm will give the vision. Saxa will get the job done.
Yeah, again, that's nice kills coming out from both ends, really suppressing the course this time around. Of course, Ace is struggling a bit more than Ana is, so that is still something to keep in mind for NiP. Even if they are finding these kills on Ana, there's just not much space for Ace to really be on.
Mid tier 1 now. Gonna be under siege here from OG. Barda is there on the TA and has the Desolator up now, and looks like they do want to go for this fight. The Hex will come out from Saxa, though. Heavenly Grace is spelling, though Doom will come out as well. Looks like they found 2 with the Fortune Zen. 33, he's been doomed up. Barda copying a lot of damage, and there's the Guardian Angel as well. He still has refraction charges. Looks like 33 just barely managed to get away for the moment. Barda thinking about turning around. And now the side of NiP, can they make something happen? Heavenly Grace again allowing Jerax to walk out of there safely. OG still moving forward. Gotta be careful. PP does get cancelled off by the Fortune Zen, and looks like OG are happily gonna back off. There are banner runes spawning up. PPD, they're going for a bit of a snipe there on the top banner rune in the bot lane. Saxa will be able to pick up the other one, so 2 for 2 banner rune trade. X will come out. Anna gonna end up finding Saxa. Seb gonna continue the chase as well. They don't have any levels in that DJ aura, but it won't even matter. They'll find him regardless with the Fortune's End to hold. PPD still being chased down here by Jerax. Gonna try and make a run for it, almost blocking himself in with those treants. He will get taken down with the Purifying Flames of No Tail.
Once again, just so much aggression across the map so far from both sides. Really nice attempt on Ana by 33, but not quite enough. Yeah, he just doesn't have enough damage yet to burn through this troll. And, you know, Ana is starting to approach that Battle Fury closer and closer. Right about, you know, just a few components left, and should be relatively easy to farm faster with that Demon Eng. So, again, once that comes out, he is just going to escalate.
Thompson gets gunsed up, and the X does come out as well as the Shackles. They have found the Ember, and that's a massive pick if they can find it. Thompson slide up this Remnant away, but it will not be enough. 33, he had the damage to get the job done. Very important pick off there for NiP.
Definitely is. Again, just too much going the way of OG right now in terms of momentum. They are maintaining a very slight net worth lead as well, which is honestly better than game 1 for NiP, right? Just less than 1k for OG. You have a lot more farm on Fata. He does have that Desolator up as well. Once he has that Blink Dagger, he can set these fights to the terms of NiP. So again, they just have much more in terms of momentum this time around, but OG's still not letting up. It's not the most lopsided game yet.
Thompson trying to find PPD. He will miss the Sleight of Fist, and now Saxa though being chased down by Jerax. Looks like they'll leave them be, so no punishment is there from the side of OG. Tier 2 was pushed in just a bit, but NiP turning around now. Still plenty of OG heroes around the dire jungle. Anna, meanwhile, about to pick up his full Battle Fury. Looks like OG gonna commit a smoke. Trying to look through the Radiant jungle and spawn out somebody. Particularly Ace, of course, which is the real one they're looking for, but Ace is on the other side of the map, just farming up in his other jungle.
Dire are scanning.
OG get a nice scan off, and I believe that was Fata they caught out in that scan. Saxa is going to stick around, and they are looking through the tree line. Thompson now going to have the smoke broken. He will jump onto Fata. The Fata will turn around. It's a lot of damage as well. The Remnant forward not going to be enough. Hex comes out with the Shackles, and they'll find him. Now the Lasso as well. 33 has got the Doom. They take down Jerax, and that should be a tier 2 tower at the top lane. Perhaps going down here for the side of OG.
Yeah, it's not a good sign when you lose your 2 cores like that. You lose your Ember and your support for that, but again, that is a massive set of kills going the way of NiP. Thompson playing a bit greedy there, trying to get that jump, but not really having the tools to really control that TA at this point in the game, and Again, they just lose that tier 2. NiP looking set to really just shove in that top and start harassing now. This is when the NP starts to come online as well. With one lane completely devoid of outer towers, he can threaten the tier 3s and just get away simply.
Middle tower is under attack.
Seb, gonna find Fana. Fana does have a blink dagger up and can blink out though. He wants to go for the kill, but Jerax was right behind him. He gets the Doom off, and now the Guardian Angel from Seb. The greed does not pay off from Fana. That is a massive kill for OG. The top of the net worth board leader does end up going down.
Yeah, and it's a much closer race now between Fata and Ana. Ana with that Battle Fury up should be able to close that gap and really start to clear out these camps much faster, push out lanes much easier. And again, just escalate from there. You did have that early advantage with Fata, but now it's just going to be closed out.
They get the tier 1 tower. Jerax though, he's looking for more though. Hex will come out from Saksa. It looks like OG not willing to contest any longer, and of course they were fighting up the high ground if they did want to. Thompson again going to show himself in the top lane, and NiP almost looked like they were going to go make a play on him. 33 of course has the Blink Lasso ready to go. In fact, he just might do it by himself, though. Remnant away from Thompson just in time. The smoke immediately after that. OG, they want to try and get aggressive once again. Of course, 20-minute bounty runes, however, do pop up. It looks like Ana will be able to go claim the bot bounty runes by himself. Saksa actually broke the smoke of No-Tel. They can't really cancel the TP, although no, they can. The Hex was there in time. I thought Saksa may have been out of range, but he did have that Aether Lens up. And with that, they'll drop the Serpent One to go straight for the Roshan. OG, though, definitely not going to be looking to keep this away for free, but it's going down pretty darn fast. They're going to have to make a move quick. Looks like they will not. Now with that Aegis on Fada, NiP much better position. Slight net worth lead their way as well. Down to that bot lane. Looks like Ana's just going to continue forcing that tier 2 in. Does have the Battle Fury and the Yasha up already on the Troll, and of course NiP try and make use of this Drow ASAP and start pushing down these towers even further. They will find the mid tier 2. They keep going for this because all of OG are basically down at the bot lane. Like, you've only got one hero there, and that's No-Tel. He's not going to be able to defend this by himself. There is Jerax coming in from behind to try and set himself up for a nice doom, though No-Tel may get jumped here. They get the Sprout off, but here comes Thompson. As soon as they see Thompson, NiP do not want to borrow this fight. They do opt to back off, though the rest of OG are moving in. NiP still trying to dissipate and back off. They do get the Hex off onto Jerax. Now, unfortunately, Zen, they found PPD, and I suppose that's one kill going their way, though. Can they find more? They will lose the opportunity at Fana, but Ace is a pretty tasty target. He will throw out the Gust and go for the TP, and will not make it. Thompson, he found the chains in time. Ana will go ahead and pick up a double for himself, and I was about to say if it was only PPD's life being taken there, wouldn't have been such a big deal, but finding Ace certainly makes it quite a bit better for OG.
It definitely does, and again, you know, they try to get that push going on that tier 3, don't really manage to do it. Just the very presence of Thompson actually makes it hard for them to commit. I mean, OG only had 3 heroes down mid. 2 heroes were running from that bot lane, being chased out by 33. They still couldn't get the job done.
Ana gonna get jumped. 33 has lasso, but doesn't really want to commit it, and they don't need it. Hex Shackles is there from Saksa, and again NiP trying to find another. 33, he has the blink in about 5 seconds if he wants Jerax. That will be 5 seconds too long. So, 33 does get chained up. Jerax will jump in with the Infernal Blade. 33 dropping quite fast, quite low, and he does end up going down. Now OG gonna look for more. PPD goes for the TP, but again the chains from Thompson just in time. It always seems to be the Nature's Prophet and a core going down on NiP when they try to get aggressive.
Yeah, it's really a bit wonky if it trades. You still kind of feel happy as NiP finding that kill on Ana, but you really don't want to keep giving away a 33 like this. not worthwhile losing your bat over and over again. At some point, he is going to need a bit of space to farm up. He's not doing too bad in terms of gold. I mean, he's just about 1k behind Seb's Omni Knight right now, which is not too bad of a spot to be in. You definitely want to be slightly bigger. That 4-staff or BKB probably going to help the cost immensely once that's up.
Dire are scanning.
OG, they've smoked up again. They do scan out Fada as well. Now, mind you, he does have the Aegis. But if he's all alone, they can just find him twice, and they're going to go for it. Doom being committed for the first life. It looks like that's all they're going to get. The Aegis is gone now, and Saksa, he moves in with the Hex and Shackle straight onto Nota, although Lasso is there as well onto the Omni set. He'll be fine. It looks like they will get rid of Saksa OG, doing very well this team fight. And NiP do not want to go on any longer, though, Ace. The poor man has no way out of this. Jerax will jump forward, won't find the stun, and it looks like everyone else will be fine.
Yeah, again, they managed to burn down that Aegis, which basically means that NiP can't go for the high ground anymore, even if that lane is shoved in. They already kind of struggled with the Aegis. They pulled back when OG only had 3 heroes defending that top lane, that top high ground, but the moment that Thompson showed, they just back off, and that was with the Aegis. They weren't feeling confident then. They for sure do not feel confident now.
Again, you see NiP, they'll move up to that top lane and just shove it in. OG, though, they'll move to the bot. It looks like they were looking for PPD on that Nature's Prophet, but won't be able to find him in time.
Comforting rune of regeneration.
OG just wanting to fight, not wasting any time, just moving straight into that Radiant jungle once again. Ana, meanwhile, has been farming this whole time, and is just about to pick up a BKB. It's about 350 gold for that. Imagine once that BKB is up, he's going to feel a lot more confident in joining his team for these fights.
Yeah, definitely so. Again, that just allows him to really stand right in front and deal the damage he wants to deal. And it can also kind of save him from these ganks, right? Every time he's jumped up, if he pops that BKB in time, he's just going to be able to TP out safely.
Let's get spotted bot lane, and OG thinking about moving their way down. Thompson on the front lines. PPD has not backed off yet either. It's going to go for TP attempt though. Thompson, he's found him. Chains were committed, and maybe they're a bit too early. PPD, the Fortune's End will not be there. He will get out in the end.
Yeah, rather unfortunate gank coming out, but you know, PPD is buying the space they need now, and looks like there is a response from NiP.
Yeah, they are going to go after Thompson. No remnants available for him, and they will end up finding the lasso, though. Can they burst him down fast enough? Looks like they can. They have the Hex, and they have Fada there on the TA. Thompson has had a couple of these deaths where he does get aggressive and does stick around a bit too long. And IP do punish. So, OG, they move their way up to the top lane where they'll try and claim that tier 1 tower, basically trading with the side of NiP. Direct trade between both teams. Perhaps they'll even go for tier 2s now. Why the hell not? But there will be rotations here from OG. They don't want to allow this to just go down for free. And Ana even thinking about going after Fada. In fact, he is continuing to move forward, though as soon as he sees Ace and PPD, does not want a bar of it. That'll be the end of that. The net worth lead still remaining just slightly on the side of NiP, but really nothing. Just 1k. Most of that just sitting on Fada as well in the TA. In fact, Fada does have that BKB up now as well, so a 10-second charge available on him. Looks like Ace will go ahead and pick up the Hurricane Pike. Hobson looks like he's trying to pick up an Octarine Core for himself.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Get a tier 2 bot tower on the side of OG, and they might just go for more. I mean, all ultimates are available on them. And we've seen how powerful they are once that Guardian Angel's popped. IP, they have so much right-click damage that they rely on. Thing is, though, there is a push going on for PPD up top lane, and looks like he will force at the very least Motel to go back to defend this. That's a significant amount of damage as well to that tier 3 tower. Does stop the push at the bot lane.
Yeah, it's definitely working out for NiP again. Clearing out these outer towers just enables this NP to get that split push going quite well. He can threaten the tier 3s, force a retreat from OG, and buy some time for his team, and it certainly is paying off quite well. OG is in no position to really force a tower out unless they find that NP first.
Jerax going for a Lotus Orb up next on the Doom. While 33 looks like he got a 10-second BKB charge available now on him as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ace's farm on the Drow, not the greatest, but even with that, the Drow is still super scary to be up against. OG, there's a lasso out on Jerax. They want to get rid of that Doom ASAP, and it looks like they will be able to in time, surely, and they do. Seb try to help out, but couldn't make it in time, and now the Guardian Angels pop straight onto Fana. They do end up finding him as well. The BKB TP does not work out for him. Ace gets doomed up as well. They are going to continue the chase here, and this is just a dead Ace. NiP lose two very, very important calls on their side of things, and they do not end up finishing off that tier 2 tower either.
I mean, it looked great when they blew up Jerax just that fast, but he just buys back and they know they can commit.
Ana, down 33, the Invis rune though. Gonna kick in, of course, he was under a Sentry Ward just before. Now though, with the Roshan available and 2 heroes down to the side of NiP, all they can hope for on the Radiant side is perhaps an Age of Steel. PPD looking to sprout, give vision in the pit. 33 is going to go for it. Looks like he might, but the Roshan's down and the Aegis is taken. They had no vision in the pit, so there's no real way to tell exactly where the HP was of the Roshan. OG now look to be in the driver's seat once again.
Yeah, and with that Aegis, it should enable them to at least start pressuring those tier 3s much easier. Of course, you still have to worry about PPD going up and shoving out a lane, but you still have a lot more options now with that Aegis.
Bueno, gonna go ahead and finish off that tier 2 town very easily. Looks like there'll be no contest here from the Radiant. Do they go for more though? And we'll move to the bot lane, though 33 has already started pushing the creep wave out. Might have a little bit of an opening though. Hex does come out from Saksa. 33 thinking about the lasso, but not quite yet. Thompson is there with the chains, and Ana actually copying too much damage. He will be able to walk his way out. Jerax, the shackles is cancelled, but the lasso is there. False promise though from Notel does cancel that off. There's just no control here from NiP, and Ana pops the battle trance. Does have the Aegis, so can dive very deep, and Thompson moving in as well. Circle Ward's being dropped. Will it be enough? The Heavenly Grace just keeping Ana so healthy. Looks like they may be able to find the Aegis in the end, and they do. Gee, gotta be careful to overextend too much here. Jerax has found Ace once again, but the shackles are there. Ace falling solo, the 40% will find him, and now they also end up finding Notel though on the Oracle. Notel immediately buying back. Meanwhile, PPD doing nature's proper things, just split pushing while he can. The shackles are there on the Ember. Thompson, he does heal up, he's fine. Meanwhile, Doom is there on Ace on the Drow Ranger. 33 in the middle of all this right now on the Bat Rider, and is getting surrounded though, does try to run away. Fana is melting right now. What's the plan here, Fana? Does jump onto Seb. So Thompson just cleaning up. Meanwhile, 33 though does end up finding Ana on the Troll. PPD has apparently found one full Rax by himself and is going for a secondary tier 3 tower. And PPD, I thought someone was going up to defend. Ana was there in the end, but it was just way too late. And he does go ahead and claim the first Rax of the game.
And that's the issue you face up against this NP. I've been talking about it for a while, but once your outer towers are gone, and you're going for that high ground push, PPD will just punish you by split pushing himself. And, you know, if he's not dead, then you're going to lose a lot more in your base if you're not going to respond in time, or if you don't manage to take those objectives, which OG did not. They had the Aegis, they had the cheese, they still didn't manage to take that tier 3 down bot.
They did get a bit greedy though. diving underneath almost those tier 4 towers may be a bit unnecessary. Even popping that battle trance just almost for the sake of having that added attack speed on the troll. Arguably a bit wasteful. Gee, I mean, they were in the driver's seat, but now they are stuck as a passenger. Sparta going ahead and picking up a Bloodthorn, it looks like, very, very soon. Does already have the crystals up on the TA. Now a smoke. So Anna did end up buying back, so it is going to be on cooldown for another 6.5 minutes. They can find that troll out in their own jungle. It'd be darn amazing though. Thompson, be even better, and they have found him with the lasso. Can they take him down though? Hex was there, but they will get the false promise off in time, and he will remnant out of those serpent wards immediately. BKB was already used by Barter, so OG feel like they can find it, and they do get the chains off, and they do burst out Barter immediately, and now 33 and Ace just wanting to get out of there safely. Gus is nice, but it looks like they're still going to end up finding the Drow. Sansa also ends up getting taken down by Anna. They will get a triple on the Troll Warlord, but PPD once again just ratting while his team is dying, and well, he does at least force out the fortification. This should delay the game out a bit. Even the bot lane being pushed out by 33, just keeping them in this game.
Yeah, you have the traps as well from the TA going to be wiping out that wave, so not going to be able to get that push in the bot lane. Should find somewhere else to really get that push going, but I guess the mid lane is open, but none of the cores are in position. At the very least, Ana is a bit far out.
Run his way there pretty darn fast though.
The seeds of fortune.
So they are going to try for that mid-tier 3. They can at least try and force out the buyback from Sparta, but they know Ace should be gone for a while. Octarine Core as well, now being finished up on Thompson. Excellent there from Saxa, but again, definitely Grace just protect him. Saxa got to be careful not to go down, although he gets caught out. And Fortune's End comes out from No-Tail as well. Saxa, he ends up losing his life, though does have buyback. 33, he's BKB'd up and he's alright for the moment. OG do not want to overextend a second time, so they do go back to the racks, though a nice lasso will find Jerax. Still, the mid-racks being taken fairly easily. Those shackles are there, and a false promise will save the day for the moment, but the Sprout will hold him in just a bit. He's forced to BKB up. Thinking about going back in, though, he will go for the TP play. Have they dealt enough damage to Anna? Probably not. Does end up surviving in the end, though. It does look like they have found Thompson on the Ember Spirit, and there's no buyback available on that Ember. An NiP in a 5v3 situation. Roshan not going to be up for at least another 2 minutes. Looks like they probably will go straight for a high ground attempt.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty straightforward one. Without the Ember Spirit, you're not really going to be able to wave clear safely. You can't have Ana kind of walk up and cleave that wave out. It's a heavy risk, right? You've already seen it happen before when Ana's way too far forward. The initiation is there for NiP, right? They do have ways of kind of jumping in and punishing. So you can't quite have that troll be your front liner. You want someone else to cop it. You want Jerax up there. You want Seb to be the one taking that lasso first, perhaps. But it's something they might have to risk out now, although it does look like NiP will just use this time. They're trying to clear out the jungle, maybe check that Roche, but unfortunate for them, it's not going to be up. By the time it's up, OG's Heroes is back in full force.
A lot of time being used up, waiting for that Roshan, and seeing what the plan is here from the Radiant. I mean, they are set up in a position where they're looking to pick somebody off in the mid lane, but OG are all sitting in the base as 5. Apart from Anna, who is at the bot lane, just farming up again. 33. Thinking about jumping on Jerax, but Lotus Orb is there. Bloodthorn actually not being finished final. He will decide he'll go for the Daedalus instead. Not seeing the value in the silence, and it's fair enough. I mean, you've got that Heavenly Grace, you've got that False Promise. Even the Fortune's End, there's just so many ways to dispel that silence. Besides, let's just go for the raw damage output instead. Meanwhile, NiP still looking for that Roshan, but it's at least 10 seconds away. OG now going to do the same thing. Both teams understanding how desperately they need this Vana. Gonna stand on top of the high ground though. Will be able to blink out in time. Now BKB's being forced out. PPD, he'll jump in as well. It looks like they will jump straight onto Saksa. And now there is the Guardian Angel coming out from Seb. Try being committed, but Ace is under a lot of pressure right now. Thompson just making the chase. We'll find him with the Remnant as well. 3 down to the side of NiP. 33 just trying to get the hell out of there safely. PPD being chased down as well by Anna. 33 will get out, but PPD, oh, he gets bashed at this last split second. Anna thinking about leaving alone almost, but will end up finally finding the kill. Still, 2 buybacks being forced out by NiP, or being forced out by OG. 2 heroes down with no buyback, and OG, they might just go for the T4 towers here. They are in a prime position to do this. PPD doing the same thing though. I don't think it's the same thing here, PPD. I mean, they're going to take it a lot faster than you are, but he's going to give it a shot. 1 tier 4 tower is down, OG. They keep going. No defense coming out quite yet from NiP. PPD, he will TP back. He realizes he can't do it fast enough. The Ancient now exposed. Jerax, he's so close to going down. They are going to make the chase for Advana. BKB has already been popped. They're going to drag Notel back to the fountain, but Anna, he's just hitting up on that Ancient, though they will end up fighting Notel. Now the side of OG, can they finish this off? 33, falling pretty low and off. Thompson comes in, but Ace has respawned, dealing a lot of damage, but there's too many heroes falling down to the side of NiP. Thompson still not down, that Heavenly Grace just keeping him alive this whole time. Anna is so darn healthy on the troll. He still has the battle trance in about a second. They're trying to deal the damage, but the Ancient is just too exposed and too low on HP. They will find it. OG take the series 2-0. And they will be versing Alliance in the finals, which are coming up relatively soon.
I mean, that was a really much better showing from NiP for game.